Hello and welcome back to our VCF 5.2 Technical Deep Dive series. Episode 12 is on the start for today, and we will have a look into our lifecycle management and also in our whole Aria suite stuff. So for today, we have on the table, Reinhard.
Operations, VCF for operations. So basically the old name was Operations Manager or Aria Operations or whatever you like, but it's that kind of product. And basically we are showing you how to roll it out. What are the prerequisites? You will see that many of those prerequisites will be the same, like DNS names, certificates, NTP servers, even the wizard looks alike. So let's start off. We have here the certificates. We prepared already that. We already uploaded, as you have seen in the last episode, in our locker, the ISO images in our local environment. So if you go into environment, go on the three buttons where Tobias is currently clicking and say add product. We can then add our operations manager. So what can we see here? You can choose the different products. We scroll down to Aria operations. Well, VCF operations. What can we do there? Yes, the naming. What did we forget one name? You realize it's the very old one, Aria operations.
The originating was vCent Operations Manager, vCent Operations Manager. Then it was
we realize.
Then it was vRealize Operations Manager. Then it was Aria, and now it becomes VCF Operations.
Okay. So, however, setting the naming aside, we can import an existing installation or do a new one. We are going to do a new one. Afterwards, we check the version. We also have different deployment sizes. We can choose here medium, large, and extra large. If you would do a manual installation, you also have small and extra small, and you can choose the number of nodes you want to roll out. Good. So if you want to know what are the prerequisites and the details, you can click below, and then you are being linked to a website where you have all of the prerequisites for the different versions. We are running with our 5.2, the VCF Operations 8.18 version. And when you scroll down a little bit, you will see that you have, depending on the size of your rollout, well, you can manage different number of managed entities and maximum number of maximum objects and stuff like that. So basically, the bigger it is, the more objects you can manage and can monitor, right? So extra small and small is not available through the wizard here, but it would be available if you do it manually and import it afterwards. Good. So having that said, we hit next. We all read the Euler to the end and click next afterwards. And then again, we pre-install the licenses. We select the license, update, validate the license, and click next when it gets green. Certificates, again, the same thing like in vAria for operations or in VCF for logs. You create your CSR, push it into your certificate authority, get your certificate back and import it. And the thing out of the wizard is it does its lookup, add its SDDC manager as into the lifecycle manager, and populates all the fields for you. So it gets the vCenter server name, the network, the AVN is in this case our X region and not the local region. So you see it in our case on the IP address, because X region, which is for more instances, is the .10 in the third octet. Yeah, you select the data store and all the other stuff is already pre-selected. Good. Domain name, DNS server, sync mode, NTP server, gateway, again, all being detected and read out from the SDDC manager because this has been already configured. And now we are deactivating the TLS version 1 and 1.1 because the ciphers are old. Tobias, your opinion on that?
Absolutely.
Do you agree?
Absolutely, highly recommended this disable TLS version 1, TLS version 1.1. If you still use those kind of old browsers, or if you still have some browsers which requires this version, then I would highly recommend to replace the
Uh,
browser. But
yeah,
do not use those old ciphers anymore, because
yeah,
they are really more and more an huge security issue.
yeah. And if you even would do the SSL vulnerability checks, like um, you have them online, they would give you actually a bad grade for that. Affinity and anti-affinity rule. Do you want to keep your nodes together, or do you want to split them on separate hosts? We all know that feature out of vSphere. That's nothing new. We can configure our log forwarding and the management pack for the SDDC manager. So install SDDC management pack, log forwarding configuration. So here we can forward the logs of operations already to our VCF for logs. We will have a detailed look what makes sense and not sense, what are the real key features, what are the key, let's say, keywords to look for with
Mhm.
Alain in that section later on. Again, NTP server is being um, detected automatically, and we can install also adapter files for, let's say, external storages, network devices, and all that stuff, which can be monitored through ops 2. Good. Then we are going to configure our VROPS cluster. We need a load balancer for that. We use the internal load balancer of NSXT, and
Yes.
we have also selected already and created an FQDN. Again, FQDN, IP address, forward and reverse lookup, never forget that. And then you can already set the names for the primary and secondary node, because we are deploying 2 nodes. So we have the primary and the replica node. Again, host names, IP addresses, and stuff like that, and the load balancer configuration. So
Yes, sir.
password is already set as far as I know.
We will now do an fast forward for the validation. Before we do a fast forward, uh, maybe someone is asking for, hey, what why are we using the NSX embedded load balancer, or the load balancer um, of uh, of NSX, and not NSX ALB? The reason behind is quite a simple one. Currently, and has been now made a new statement that the load balancer in NSX is still deprecated, but for VCF it will still stay. So we can utilize the load balancer for our VCF products. And since when we have created the application virtual networks and the Aria Suite Lifecycle Manager, automatically the load balancer has been created. So as you can see, we have
Right.
gotten a new tier 1 gateway just for the load balancing, and also the interface has been already configured. Why not use it? So that's my opinion on it. Since now also the final confirmation is there that the load balancing in NSX will not fully be go away. It will still stay for the whole lifecycle management products, also for the whole VCF operations, VCF logs, and so on. Yeah, absolutely fine for me to use it.
Correct.
Okay,
So,
then we will do a fast forward and see you after the validation,
and
and then we'll
deployment.
start the installation. Yeah.
Okay, guys, if you tick the box of install SDDC management pack, you need to manually download the adapter file and put it into your lifecycle manager or on your NSFS share. So you have those choices, and when you want to select it, you just enter the path, and then it's being auto discovered. You select it and go on here. Yeah, and now we are doing our validation, run the pre-check. We do a fast forward, and we will see you after the validation is done. So we are at the stage after the pre-check. So basically you see every pre-check passed with green. So basically, if you look into that in our last video, we had some compatibility issues which were flagged. Um, this mainly, the main reason mostly is that it could not reach some sources to do his online checks. So obviously those things are working now in the background, and all of our version checks match. Again, you could download the reports if you want to have that for your documentation and stuff like that, and put it there so that you see, okay, during our installation, everything was fine. Then if something is not fine anymore, some changes must have happened. So at the end of the pre-check, basically, we hit next and start our deployment. And we will do another fast forward, and we will see us after that. And basically, you see a couple of stages are already running. It's the same thing as the rollout and deployment of VCF for logs. And yes, configuring, so deploying, afterwards configuring the OVAs, integration into the SDDC manager, and then we can work with the product. Okay, guys, see you after the fast forward. Correct, Toby?
Yes, sir. So let's wait until everything is deployed, and then we will have a look to
Correct.
the environment. Okay, guys, see you in a couple for you seconds. For us,
Hopefully
it
minutes.
take some time.
Okay, welcome back. After the fast forward, you see 45 minutes and 45 seconds later, we have our VROPs deployed. Again, depending on your hardware, storage speed, network speed, the deployment takes longer, maybe it's faster, whatever. It takes what it takes. The only important thing is that all stages are green, and you see that it has rolled out node 1, node 2, here the replica node installation, then it installs it initializes the cluster, some licenses will be configured, time setup, integration into the SDDC manager, and stuff like that will be done. Again, at the end, configuring the log forwarding, and we are in a good, healthy state. We see that the products are already activated there. And if we go back into our overview, we can go into our Aria operations or operations for VCF. We see also in the tasks that they also have finished. And when we now jump into the logon screen of our operations manager, we can log on with our password, which we have set at installation time. And if we don't do typos, like I usually do, just joking, we see already their home screen. And when we see that vCenter, Cloud Foundation, and stuff like that is already connected, we can add our accounts. If we have a look into the integrations, you see vCenter, SDDC Health Adapter, and also the connection to login site is there. So basically, we can go also into inventory, what has he already discovered, like vCenter, and so on and so forth. But a deep dive on that, we will do with Ella, and this will be in one of the upcoming episodes. So all in all, you have seen the installation of login site and operations is fairly similar. So
Yeah,
at
this
the
is
end of the
slightly
day,
with something I would like to add. One slightly different because now we have in login side or in Aria operations for log or VCF operations for log, we have the embedded load balancer.
correct.
Which is not true for operations manager. So if we go back to our SDDC manager and have a look into the recent tasks, we see here a task which is called configure VROPS load balancer, where he has basically created an NSX virtual server, application profiles, the server pool, monitor and stuff like this, uploaded certificates and stuff like this. So if we have a look now into NSX, we see that we have the components in NSX as well. So Reinhard, what components do we have in NSX now?
So we have here our monitors. where he can do the health checks from the load balancer. So the load balancer looks actually to the nodes and checks if he gets the configured HTTP, HTTPS responses. We have also the profiles. We have an HTTP profile and a TCP profile. We will then see that we have a forward from HTTP to HTTPS. We also have the server pools, which are the two backend nodes which we just rolled out, which are being checked by the more health check monitors. So this also goes hand in hand. And then we have our virtual server, that is our load balancer with HTTP port 80 and with the forward to HTTPS port 443. Yeah, and last but not least, the load balancer object itself, which is basically the thingy what we are accessing to and where our session of the web browser ends, and then it's being redirected to one of the nodes. So all in all, we have an up and running operations for VCF. So in the next episode, we will make a short break out of the whole Aria suite because we have an update. So VCF 5.2.1 is available. So we will have a look into the upgrade procedure from 5.2 to 5.1. And after we have done that, we will come back to Aria for networks and have a look into that, or the old name, Network Insight, or whatever you want to call it.
VCF network.
Correct. Yes. Thank you for your feedback, your likes, your comments, and well, let's see us again in our next episode.
Yes, sir.
Tobias, any
Thanks.
closing words?
No, everything fine. So, thanks for please also, as
Subscribe.
often mentioned by many other YouTube videos as well. Please also hit the subscribe button. Then you get automatically the notification when we post a new video. Okay, guys. Then see you in the next episode, episode 13. As Reinhard mentioned, we will do a full-blown VCF update. Okay. Bye bye.
Okay, guys. Bye bye.